Listen to me. You don't have a lust problem, you have a control problem. And before you get offended, relax, because almost every guy on the planet has been there. You wake up motivated. You promise yourself, that's it. I'm done. New life, new discipline, new version of me. Then it's midnight. You're lying in bed. You're holding your phone 6 inches away from your face, and suddenly your brain turns into a monkey with Wi-Fi. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And then afterward, regret, disappointment, anger, you sit there thinking, what the hell is wrong with me? Nothing. You're human. But here's the brutal truth. If you don't learn how to control your lust will control your entire life. And that's not an exaggeration. Because lust doesn't just affect your relationships. It affects your focus, your discipline, your confidence, your energy, your self-respect. And the craziest part, most people don't even realize it's happening. They think they're just scrolling, just watching, just looking, just one more time. No, they're training their brains. Every single action you repeat becomes a pattern, and patterns become habits, and habits become your identity. You don't become weak overnight, you become weak one excuse at a time. Here's another truth nobody wants to hear. Lust isn't about sex. Read that again. Lust isn't about sex. Most of the time, it's about escape. You're stressed. You're lonely. You're bored. You're anxious. You feel rejected. You feel like your life isn't moving. And instead of solving those problems, your brain looks for the fastest source of pleasure. Boom! Instant dopamine. Temporary satisfaction. Permanent frustration. You know what's funny? People will spend 4 hours watching videos, scrolling through social media, wasting their energy, and then they'll wonder why they have no motivation. Seriously? That's like pouring sugar into your car's fuel tank and then acting surprised when the engine dies. Research on self-control has repeatedly shown that people who successfully resist temptation don't simply rely on willpower. They create systems that reduce temptation before it takes control. Studies also suggest that avoiding temptation is often more effective than trying to fight it in the middle of a craving. Think about that. The strongest people aren't always the people with the strongest willpower. They're the people who stop putting themselves in stupid situations. You don't leave a pizza next to a guy who's trying to lose weight. You don't put alcohol in front of someone who's trying to quit drinking. And you definitely don't carry a temptation machine in your pocket while pretending you're going to beat your urges through motivation alone. Your phone isn't neutral. Social media isn't neutral. Your environment isn't neutral. Everything around you is competing for your attention. So let's talk about how to actually beat this thing. Step 1. Stop calling yourself a failure. This is important. Some people mess up once, and suddenly they're giving themselves a life sentence. I'm disgusting. I'm weak. I'm hopeless. Calm down. You're not evil. You're not broken. You're struggling with one of the most powerful human drives that exists. The problem isn't the desire. The problem is the lack of direction. Desire is energy. You have to redirect it, not destroy it. Step 2. Understand your triggers. I guarantee your lust doesn't appear randomly. There's a pattern. Maybe it's late at night. Maybe it's after an argument. Maybe it's when you're alone. Maybe it's when you're stressed. Maybe it's after scrolling through social media. Identify the trigger, because you can't defeat an enemy you can't recognize. Write it down. What time? What emotion? What situation? Find the pattern. You'll be shocked by how predictable your behavior actually is. Step 3. Get the damn phone out of your bedroom. I'm serious. People say, I need more self-control. No, you need fewer opportunities to fail. You know exactly where the problem starts. At 11:30 p.m., under a blanket, with your phone. Then why is your phone still there? Move it. Charge it in another room. Buy an alarm clock. Create distance. Research has found that people with higher levels of self-control are more likely to avoid temptation altogether rather than continuously resisting it. Avoidance isn't weakness, it's strategy. Step 4. Replace the habit. This is where most people fail. They remove a bad habit, but replace it with absolutely nothing. And then they wonder why they keep relapsing. Your brain hates empty space. If you remove one source of dopamine, another one has to take its place. Start lifting weights. Go running. Learn boxing. Read. Build a business. Learn a skill. Study. Create content. Do something. Anything. Because an idle mind is basically a luxury hotel for destructive thoughts. Let's be honest. It's very difficult to be consumed by lust when you're exhausted after a brutal workout. Physical activity changes everything. Your energy gets redirected, your confidence improves, your sleep improves, your focus improves. And suddenly, the urges become easier to manage. Step 5. Stop negotiating with yourself. This one is huge. Because your brain is a professional lawyer. Just 5 minutes is not a big deal. You deserve it. One last time. Lies. Every single one of them. The moment you start negotiating, you've already lost. Don't debate. Move. Stand up. Walk outside. Do push-ups. Take a cold shower. Call someone. Leave the room. Interrupt the pattern immediately. Researchers studying self-control found that using multiple strategies instead of relying on only one approach significantly improves success rates. Participants reported using at least one strategy in 89% of temptation situations, and using multiple strategies produced even better results. Translation? Don't fight lust with one weapon. Use 10. Step 6. Delay the urge. This is a psychological trick that's incredibly effective. Don't tell yourself, I'll never do it again. Your brain will panic. Instead, say this, not now. That's it, not now. Researchers found that postponing a temptation can reduce both desire and future consumption. The delay itself weakens the craving. The urge says, do it now. You answer later, and then later becomes tomorrow. And tomorrow becomes next week. And suddenly you're winning battles you used to lose. Step 7. Understand that lust steals more than time. It steals ambition. Look around. How many talented people destroy their potential because they can't control themselves? How many dreams disappear because people choose instant pleasure over long-term growth? Think about this. Every empire was built through delayed gratification. Athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders, artists, every single one of them had to sacrifice something. Nobody reaches the top by becoming a slave to every impulse. Self-control is a superpower. And the world is suffering from a self-control shortage. Studies involving thousands of participants have shown a relationship between self-control, healthier habits, better behavior, and greater consistency in turning intentions into actions. Because discipline isn't about punishment, it's about freedom. People think discipline creates restrictions. No, discipline creates options. When you're disciplined, you have more energy, more focus, more confidence, more opportunities. Step 8. Stop feeding your eyes garbage. Let's be real. You can't spend 6 hours consuming sexualized content and expect your brain to become peaceful. That's insane. What you watch becomes what you think about. What you think about becomes what you desire. And what you desire eventually becomes what you do. Protect your eyes. Protect your attention. Protect your mind. Because your mind is like a garden. Plant garbage, and you'll grow garbage. Step 9. Forgive yourself when you fail. This might be the most important lesson of all. Because some of you think one mistake means you've lost all your progress. That's nonsense. Imagine going to the gym for 3 months, then missing one workout. Would you quit forever? Of course not. So why do people do that with self-improvement? One bad day doesn't erase 100 good days. One mistake doesn't define your character. Stand up. Learn, adjust, move forward. No self-hatred, no drama, no pity party. Just keep going. Because progress isn't linear. And anybody who tells you otherwise is selling you a fantasy. And here's something else. Loneliness multiplies lust. You know why? Because humans aren't designed for isolation. We need connection, real conversations, real friendships, real relationships. You can't replace human connection with a screen. It doesn't work. And that's why so many people feel emptier after chasing temporary pleasure. Because pleasure without purpose creates emptiness. Purpose gives pleasure meaning. That's why you need a mission, a goal, a direction, something bigger than your next craving. Because when your life becomes exciting, lust loses its power. Think about your future. Who do you want to become? Seriously, close your eyes and answer that question. Do you want to become stronger? More disciplined? More confident? More respected? Then start acting like that person today, not tomorrow. Today, because the version of yourself that you admire already exists. He's waiting for you. He's waiting on the other side of discipline, on the other side of self-control, on the other side of every excuse you've been repeating for years. And one day you'll look back and realize something incredible. The battle was never against lust. The battle was against the weaker version of yourself. And every time you resisted an urge, you won. Every workout, you won. Every distraction you avoided, you won. Every time you chose purpose over pleasure, you won. And eventually those small victories become your identity. You stop saying, I'm trying to become disciplined. You start saying, I am disciplined. That's when everything changes. So here's your challenge. For the next 30 days, no excuses. Exercise every day. Keep your phone away from your bed. Identify your triggers. Build a schedule. Replace bad habits. Delay your urges. And most importantly, stop underestimating yourself. You are far stronger than you think. You're not an animal. You're not a machine controlled by impulses. You're a human being with the ability to choose. And every single day, you get another chance to make that choice. So stop surrendering. Stop saying, this is just who I am. Bullshit. You can change. You can improve. You can take control. And when you finally conquer your lust, you'll discover something beautiful. The reward isn't the absence of temptation. The reward is becoming the kind of person who no longer bows to it. Now get up. Put the phone down. Close the unnecessary tabs. Take a deep breath. And go build a life that's so powerful, so meaningful, and so damn exciting that temporary pleasure can't compete with it. Your future is waiting. Go earn it.